Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is April, and for today's tea talk, my cats are really loud. Both of them are being really obnoxious right now, so I apologize. I'm sorry if you hear them being very noisy. They're very noisy cats. But anyway, for today's tea talk, I am talking all about defeating overwhelm. It's something that I'm working diligently over, and I feel like we all kind of deal with this, but I feel like this is something that is completely able to be tackled. Sorry, Monkey just jumped on the tripod and now she's in front of the lighting. So that's fun. Anyway, it's going to be one of those videos. Before I hop right in, I just want to share with you guys the tea that I'm having today. I'm having the Disney's Alice in Wonderland official unbirthday tea. I'm having the Mad Tea Party blend. So it's a blend of a bunch of fruity notes, and it's actually a black tea, so it is caffeinated. They recommend you steep it between like 2 to 3 minutes for a black tea, typically. The only thing that's kind of annoying about these bags is that there's no string on it, so you're going to want to get one of those like clamp tong things where you can squeeze out the excess and then be able to pull it out. Otherwise it's going to be too hot and you're not going to want to grab it with your hands or like grab it with a spoon. I don't know, it's just weird. So that's the only thing that kind of annoys me about this collection, is that there's no string on the tea bags. But other than that, the tea is super, super lovely in flavor. I just love it so much. So that's why I decided to have it today, because I was just in the mood for it. And plus it's called the Mad Tea Party Blend, and I feel like I'm going a little bit mad today. And so are my cats. So it was appropriate. Anyway, enough of that. Let's hop right on into the video. So I feel like before you're able to defeat overwhelm, you have to kind of figure out where it comes from. And I think where overwhelm for me comes from is a few different things. I think it comes from setting my standards too high, doing everything alone, disorganization, or just being a yes person. And when I was sort of able to figure that all out, I've sort of been able to tackle everything after that. I think a lot of the times we don't realize that overwhelm is actually very internal, and it's something that we have a lot more control over than we realize, because ultimately a lot of where the overwhelm comes from is in our control, and even if it's not, the feelings are manageable, and much more manageable than they appear to be, for that matter. So the first thing is obviously, and I mean this, I'm saying this first because you obviously already know this, make sure you plan your day out, but like don't over plan. You know, don't book yourself too much to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, how am I supposed to do all of this? But don't under plan to the point where you're disorganized, you have no idea what you're doing for the day, and you just kind of feel like you're all over the place. Like, just plan. Also, with that said, learn to say no. I've talked about this so many times. Just learn to say no to people when it comes to people asking you for favors or whatever it is. And if you're not sure if you should say yes or no, if you're like kind of stuck in the middle, you're like, I don't know what to do. When in doubt, don't. So the next tip that I want to give you guys is to utilize different apps. So I have a few that I just want to talk about. One in particular, though, is the Relax Melodies app, and I know that a lot of people have this. It's all these different sounds and stuff that you can fall asleep to or sort of just like relax to throughout the day. I have the full version of the app. I know that the free version of the app has a bunch of different options as well. Like, you don't need to buy the full version. Also, it has, I know that with the full version, they have a bunch of different meditations. They're like 10-minute meditations, and I think if you have the free version, they give one free meditation a week. So it's really useful and really helpful if you're feeling like you're kind of in a situation where you just like kind of can't really calm down and it's really anxiety driven. I think it's really helpful for situations like that. So something like that, and sounds that kind of just put you at ease. There's also another app that I want to mention. It's called 7 Cups of Tea. I don't utilize it all too much. I do have it though, and basically they can give you like reminders every day of like things to do, like you'll follow a picture with like your breathing level, so it'll like be like a sun glowing, and when the sun's glowing out, then you're inhaling, and then when the sun is going back in, you're exhaling. It's like things like that. I think you're able to even talk to like licensed professionals if you need any sort of help or anything like that, so that's really helpful. And also, one of my friends had told me about something called ASMR. If you're not familiar with it, basically it is like sound triggers. You can YouTube it. It's huge on YouTube, and it's getting much bigger. Basically, like, you put headphones in, it's a lot more effective with headphones, and there are a bunch of different videos that you can watch. Like, there are hair cutting ones, there's like mechanical keyboard typing ones, there's ones that like it's just all of these different like trigger sounds that sort of relax you, will kind of make you feel like you're in a different place. It's almost like an escape without escaping. So it's just like a nice way to sort of unwind. The next thing is to just understand that this time will pass. There are 24 hours in every single day, and no matter how long a day may seem, it is still only 24 hours, and everything will pass. You will get out of work that day, you will get home that day, you're gonna wind up sleeping again, you're gonna wind up eating again, you're gonna wind up feeling okay again, everything will pass. So just keep repeating that to yourself. My next tip is to understand that you are not overwhelmed, you feel overwhelmed. Don't own being overwhelmed. It's something that is like it's like definitely a mental thing. It's all about like kind of being positive and all that kind of stuff. But when you own being overwhelmed and you're like, I am overwhelmed, it becomes like a personality trait rather than a temporary fleeting emotion. So don't say that you are overwhelmed, say you're feeling overwhelmed. Now this next thing may be a personal thing. I know a lot of people aren't introverted, a lot of people are much more extroverted than me, but when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I just focus on recharging my introversion. And I know that sometimes I really try to break out of being introverted, so it's almost a little bit like contradictory at that point. But I need to recharge, and I need to recharge by myself. That means taking hours away from my phone, hours away from the TV, like making sure that I'm just kind of like disconnecting and unwinding. So I recharge by focusing on my introversion. And honestly, it makes me feel so much better. Now, the next thing is to be realistic about your goals, your deadlines, and your happiness, but not separately, all together. You know, because when I say realistic, it doesn't mean that you can't achieve certain goals. You can achieve obviously anything, but to be realistic about all those things together. Are your goals matching up with your happiness? Are your deadlines matching up with your happiness? Is this something that's obviously going to overwhelm you? Are your goals even something that you dreamed of, or is it something that someone else is putting on you? Put those things together, and if it's not checking off every single one of those marks, then maybe you should reevaluate and possibly eliminate that goal to sort of just take that burden off your shoulders. So that's it for this video. I really hope that this helped you guys. I know that these are just little things that I try to do when I'm feeling overwhelmed, and lately I've definitely been feeling quite overwhelmed. So if you guys have any tips, definitely leave it in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Also hit the bell notifications if you're already subscribed, so that way you guys know when a new video goes live, which I put up new videos every Sunday and Wednesday. And if you guys didn't watch my last video, you can go and click right here. I did a blowout routine showing you guys how to get a really super easy salon blowout. It takes like a very short amount of time, so definitely go watch that. And I will see you guys this Wednesday. Bye.